And I just looked at him like, what are you doing here? And when I know he's here to judge and to be negative about everything.
And at this age, he is insisting his parents to cook, help him. This is not a real business what he's doing. It will be closed soon, I guess.
You know, no making, no cheese.
Yeah, no cheese.
That's fine. I'll go vegan or whatever. It doesn't feel that your intention were actually good. Your intention was like, I want to do this. I'm going to bring her with me even if she doesn't like it.
Me and Jonathan would have to do like long distance for a long time. And Jonathan and I will not last long distance. We won't. I've told you this. We just won't.
And you try and act like you're the boss of everything and everyone in the whole world. You're not, though. I put up with all your baggage and all your good stuff because I love you.
Mentiroso. Like, I am how I am. You don't like it, leave.
Y'all, we need to discuss Sumit's hating-ass friend plotting on his downfall. And the sad part is that with Jenny and his controlling parents in the mix, he may be right. We have a lot to discuss. I'm filming this on Thanksgiving, so you may be hearing some Casa a lo Foca in the background. But we have a lot to discuss still, and it can't wait. Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to Nikki Faces Reality. Yes, we are in my room. I am filming this video for 90 Day Fiancé the other way as a little get ready with me. It's Thanksgiving Day. I'm getting ready to go to my aunt's house and I work tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, when am I going to get my people this tea? Okay, so this is the time. I'm going to do my makeup. Hair is already done. I have this little lavalier mic, praying that it works. But yeah, I have you guys up in my cute little vanity setup. If you guys want to see more of these in the future, let me know. But let me go ahead and get ready, okay? Before we get into it, as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of the things. We are clipping our hair. And we are going to it. My skin is already moisturized. Let's start with Jenny&Sumit. So Jenny&Sumit are at the cafe, you guys. It is day 3 of this venture. Sumit says that they're doing okay. For 3 days in business, he feels confident that it will just keep flourishing. And of course, like clockwork, his ex-friend or frenemy slash co-business partner comes by to visit. And if you guys remember, this guy, Sumit, you know, they have like a weird relationship because Sumit was working with him. And this man blames Jenny for the demise of his business. He believes that Jenny was being too needy. She kept making him shorten the hours. So, yeah, he was like, I don't like this bitch. And Jenny does not like him. Okay? So, he's going around. He's making jokes like, oh, I want to try your spaghetti. You do not want Jenny's nasty-ass spaghetti, okay? I'm putting on skin balm right now on my face. So, I'm going to look a little... Trust the process. I'm gonna look crazy for a lot of this, okay? Jenny and this man have some serious beef. So he's here to troll, okay? He's here being like, oh, like, what do you do here? What's on the menu? Oh, your coffee. You have a machine. How much is your coffee? And Jenny gives him the prices and he's like, oh, that's too high. And Jenny's like, okay, then don't have any. Bye.
How much is it?
70 for the small and 90 for the big.
It's too much.
Sorry, we have set prices here,
No,
sir.
I don't want to have. It's very expensive.
Okay, then go away.
And Jenny is big mad because everyone seems to be happy to see this man. And she's like, he's no friend to Sumit. He's jealous of my man. I don't trust him. I don't want him around. But the thing is, I don't trust Jenny either. You know, so I just like feel bad for Sumit because Sumit feels very torn. And Sumit, at his core, is such a people pleaser. So I'm going to use bronzer instead of contour just because I like to look sun-kissed all year round. The skin balm and my bronzer are from She Glam. I love this brand. Sumit and this guy go to the side and this guy's like, wow, it looks really hard here to sell anything. I mean, you barely have any business. And he's trying to pose this as being like nervous for Sumit and looking out for Sumit. And, you know, not all criticism is welcome. You know, if Sumit didn't ask for your advice, I wouldn't offer it. And I think this guy has a chip on his shoulder because Sumit was working under his business before and that business went down. So I can definitely understand a world where he feels a little petty, like, damn, you couldn't run my business and now you think that you have what it takes to run your own. And those are mean thoughts that you keep inside and you talk to God about. To go to this man's place of business and make him feel like shit about it is crazy. And Sumit is being so nice. Sumit is here over explaining, being like, oh, well, you know, this area is mainly for students and they're in classes. And yeah, so like when they come out, like they'll come to us, like it's perfectly fine. Out comes Jenny, because, you know, Jenny wants to get a temperature check. She wants to, you know, be in the mix a little bit, know what's going on. So she brings this guy, I think, like a pastry and a coffee, and she's like, it's on me, bitch. She doesn't say that, but that was the energy. Like, this is my business. You're welcome. And at first, I'm like, you know, Jenny is the queen of complaining. She's been complaining a lot while being in India. But I feel like there's some things that our partners may have like a blind eye in. And I don't think Sumit gets that this guy is not his friend.
Why is everyone so happy to see him? And when I know he's here to judge, be negative about everything, I don't trust him at all.
And he is here to fuck with his brain. Because up next, this man says, you don't even have cooks. Really? I mean, you have your parents cooking for you. You know, they're old. Jenny's old. Like, that a business doesn't make.
You don't have chefs. Your parents are cooking food. Who does that?
Like, that's why we call it family cafe, because we are working as a family.
No, bro. Your parents are working here at this age. For what? For you?
And here's the thing. There are many businesses that are literally mom and pop shops. Like, this business won't be the first and it won't be the last of its kind. So I thought that that was rude to say. I think that that's also plays into the culture part of like, oh, Sumit, you're a bad son because you're not taking care of your parents while you have them slaving in the kitchen for you. That was a nasty, nasty dig. And Sumit's like, it's literally the premise of the cafe. The parents aren't there by force. If we've seen anything, they don't do anything by force. They do things when they want. I think that they look happy to be active. I think that, yes, eventually you do have to plan for them not to be working, but I don't see anything wrong with Sumit, you know, having this be a family business while they get on their feet, and then when he's able to afford it, to get other people to work in the business. Quite honestly, the only person that I don't trust in terms of longevity is Jenny, because she doesn't like to work and she doesn't take criticism. And I feel like in any working relationship, you got to be open to criticism. And I don't think that she likes it. I also, I think that she has some health issues that, like, you know, mobility is an issue. And I think standing on your feet for hours and hours on end is not going to feel good after a while. So I understand that. My mic died out, so none of it was heard. So I'm going to just talk from here. So anyway, I feel like this guy is coming from a place where he's like, I want you to fail, and I want this to be a manifestation of all of the bad things that I want to happen to you. That's what it was coming from, and it was nasty. And so he's telling Sumit all of these awful things, and still Sumit is being so kind and is like, okay, you don't like our menu, you don't like that my family works at this cafe, but like that it's the purpose. The purpose is, sure, we can have trendy foods like pizza and burgers, but the point is for them to have a home cooked meal away from home. It's supposed to feel like comfort. Like, that's why it makes sense that it's a family run business. I felt so bad because Sumit was saying all of that to ears that did not want to accept or hear that. He was just shaking his head, and in the confessional, this frenemy of his was basically like, yeah, this is not a real business. I don't foresee it lasting long.
Problems in this Sumit's family cafe is that the family is cooking. Jenny is making coffee. For how long? Maybe a day or two, she will get tired and she will say, Sumit, take me home. This is not a real business what he's doing. It will be closed soon, I guess.
And Like, that sounds like a hater to me. Because imagine, Sumit didn't even invite your ass to come over here. You come over here and all you do is nitpick. If Sumit had an ounce of a backbone, he would be like, you know what? I have an establishment to run. Don't come here uninvited unless you're going to buy something. Because this energy was unnecessary. But instead, Sumit is here now internalizing all of these guys' words. And, you know, he really wants this to work out. But I feel so bad for him, right? Because he takes everything to heart. If things go bad with Jenny, he takes it on. If his parents use toilet water or have, you know, questions or concerns, like, he considers that a failure, like a personal failure. So these guys' words are just fueling the fire that's already within him. And I feel really bad. But yeah, let's see how things go. Anyway, I started doing my eyeshadow. I used some Sephora, just like a neutral in shade 210. But anyway, up next is Manon and Anthony. The next few couples, I'm just gonna tell you what happened. Manon and Anthony are going on this date, and he wants to take, I guess they have like a favorite goat cheese, and he wants to take her to this farm to enjoy it, except I think he forgot for a moment who he's married to. He told her, let's get ready for a date. This girl probably was thinking brunch, okay? She put on her best sexy business casual look, some big ass heels, and he never once thought, I know this is a surprise, but let me pack her some suitable shoes. No, he did not do that. Because they pull up and she's like, do you even know me at all?
Oh, the smell. I dress business, sexy chic, like my style. But if you would have told me, hey, it involves being at a freaking farm, okay, I would have put up a very cute, sexy chic look for the farm. You know, just tell me and I'll dress the part.
And I get her, like, frustration for a moment. But I know that in that moment, I would have had to switch gears, right? Because I'm like, okay, there has been this distance between me and my partner. I don't want to make him feel like shit, but this is definitely something that we're going to have to talk about. Like, at least warn me to wear the right thing, you know? But they pull up and the guide, you know, basically tells them, okay, we got to work for the cheese. So we got to milk some goats. And farms don't smell pleasant. And she's originally from France. She's new to this LA lavish life, but this girl acts like she's never been anywhere before. The way that she is gagging up a storm.
No milking, no cheese.
Yeah, no cheese.
That's fine, I'll go vegan.
And that threw me off a little bit because she, you know, is constantly telling us how she's like a businesswoman, how she's great at networking and she's this and she's that, and the ways that she's greater than Anthony, but then doesn't know how to act and not offend those people's place of business. So her gagging up a storm, I was like, girl, go to your car, have a quick tantrum, and then get it together. She does not do that, okay? She instead never joins Anthony while he is milking the goats. He is so happy. This is probably the happiest we have seen him the entire time he's been in France, because he's looked miserable. I wonder why. And you know, he spent hours doing this because the guy wasn't joking. He was like, you guys are not going to get to the cheese until you see the sunset. So that was a few hours, okay? Finally, sunset hour comes. They're eating cheese together. And Manon lets him have it. And I just don't think that was the moment to let him have it.
You know, this is not what I like to do. I was very uncomfortable. It's absolutely not my world. So respect also that I'm still here making an effort for you.
And I think that she can be so insufferable that, you know, I think a lot of what she says gets lost. But I thought that this was very important, what she said. She was like, listen, I just hate that you can't just accept me as I am. Everything is a negotiation. And like, it's almost like you want me to get to the point where I agree with what you want.
I'm sick and tired of you trying to negotiate with me all the time and trying to make me change my mind and playing games on me like that. It's just too much. Of course I want you to be happy and I don't want it to be all about me. But you need also a little bit to go towards your wife.
And I thought about that and I'm like, I think that it's healthy to negotiate. I think that in relationships of any kind, familial, friendships, romantic, there has to be some sort of give and take. Of course, there are things that we're like, these are deal breakers. There's no moving, shaking this. But in like day-to-day things that don't feel groundbreaking, I don't see there being an issue in talking it out. But the way that she said it, I think that like, this is just like a big difference between them. She just wants to be accepted by him and not feel like if she doesn't go with what he wants, that like he's gonna look down on her. And I like empathize with her in that moment because I'm like, yeah, after a while, like, you know, if my partner likes something and I don't like it, please don't stop doing it because I don't like it, but just don't give me a guilt trip because I'm not joining you. I think that it's important to care about what your partner is like, and there's ways that you can support those things. And now that I think of it, she probably mentioned it because he started to get a little carried away and being like, oh, like, this is what I want for us. I want us to like live on a farm and maybe have a goat and like, this could be my life. Like, this could be a hobby. And she's like, I hear you. And that's something that we can work towards. But that isn't going to help us right now. And I just think that they have really different outlooks on life and what stability looks like. And it sucks when you don't have those really tough conversations early and then you find yourself in a place where you're like stuck. But she's like, this is the worst our relationship has ever been. And she feels sad because France has been great for her relationship with her baby, but it's been the worst for her relationship with her partner. And they have not been intimate for months. And I think that there's a lot of reasons why that could be. But the big disconnect with them, I think, runs deep. And yeah, I mean, I think Anthony's heart was in the right place and wanting to have a date. But I think that also, like, you have to know your audience. You know damn well when you saw her put that little tux dress and those big heels, that she was gonna struggle at a farm. So I get like not wanting to ruin the surprise, but at that point, then you prepare. You pack, you know, different shoes for her and be like, babe, I know that you were ready for this vibe, but I got you covered. But instead to have her just like, it's almost like a setup, right? Because you know who you married. You know that it doesn't take much to set her off. So, yeah, this is a rough one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Madeleine&Luke. They're insufferable, so I'm going to race through this. If anyone needs to know, I used She Glam concealer, She Glam bronzer because I like the look. She Glam like a skin balm because it's light. And then up next, I'm going to go with the skin tint I have for blush, as well as Juvia's Place. But anyway, so Madeleine&Luke, real fast, because this man barely has any money to sustain himself, and he thinks the best way to get out of the doghouse with this child bride is to get her a dog that she does not need because she already has one, okay? But here he comes with this dog and he thinks that it's going to get him out of the doghouse, except they're still bickering. And they don't stop bickering, and they're days away from their wedding. The next time we see them, they're bickering some more on their way to the venue where they're going, the town that they're going to for the wedding. Luke decided to have a backbone the day before his wedding. And it doesn't make any sense because it's like, you knew this was the girl that you chose. You begged her to take you back. You knew what you were begging for. And now you want to like be like, oh, why are you always fighting? And she's like, I'm always fighting because you annoy me. You do everything wrong. I'm never happy with you. And I'm like, girl, that's mean to say when you're also agreeing to marry him. Like, what are we doing here? So this fight is just so petty because it's just like, We need to remember our place here, okay? Luke is complaining that he's always paying the bills, that he's always cooking and cleaning. And she was like, okay, and you know that I expect no less. If you want to be with me, you need to be a provider.
You want me to do everything. I do the work, I pay the bills, I do this, I cook, I clean, I do like...
If you think I don't gonna pay my bills, I can't.
Okay.
But if you want to be with me, you need to be provider.
And I'm just like, I don't understand what the surprise of that is, because that's exactly what Luke signed up for. And he knew that from the beginning when he was a little passport bro going after very young women. So I don't feel bad for him. He's also just not smart. And I'm sorry that that's not nice to say, but like, you have zero money to your name. You have failing businesses under your belt, and you just make the worst financial decisions. And then you want to blame it on Madeleine, and you think that we're going to side with you, but it's like, it's you making the decision. You never had a backbone, and you're trying to do that now. And she's like, okay, well then leave. And then you don't leave.
So ugly when you pay for something and later you mention you pay for that. Be a man. Pay the rent and pay the bills is the minimal things that the man has to do.
Madeleine has been unapologetically herself from the start, and I'm not gonna shame her for that. I feel like we all make choices. If that is not for you, then don't go after a girl like that. And I just had to laugh when he was like, I'm being disrespected by a 20-year-old. Yeah, word on the street is you sought her out when she was 17. So I don't understand why her age is all of a sudden an issue.
Very opinionated, and you try and be so dominant. You try and you try and act like you're the boss of everything and everyone in the whole world. You're not, though.
I am.
You're not. I put up with all your baggage and all your good stuff because I love you.
Mentiroso. Like I am how I am. Don't like it, leave.
Yeah, a 20-year-old ran your one successful business. The 20-year-old is the one that you beg to get back with. The 20-year-old has been translating and bridging the gap on your second business that may only be successful because of her. You want to throw up this 20-year-old like she's beneath you. You are a 30-something-year-old that is floundering, don't have nothing to your name because you let a 20-year-old dictate how things go in this relationship. I don't feel bad for you. I don't.
I have so many more reasons for leave of this relationship.
Respect goes both ways.
No me importa.
I'm saying you need...
You're gonna break up this relationship.
And so the next episode, we're supposed to see them get married or do a fake out that they may not. Yes, I'm gonna overblush. Shh. Yeah, so I don't really know. We shall see next episode how things end up. And then the last couple, I believe, yeah, it's Johnny and Chloe. I have so much to say, but I feel like we need more information still. But let me tell you. So remember, Chloe's mom is like, I'll support the both of you if you move to Boston, and you know, you could both work under my business. And Chloe's like, she knows that that's not gonna work. And Johnny speaks up and he's like, girl, I don't want to go to Boston. He's like, I really like my life here. And this woman is like, it's just, you know, you got to be realistic. It's not going to work out. Many people live in Aruba outside of vacationing and they make it work okay. It may not be to your standards, but like they do all right. And if he's happy there, then so be it. I get it. Like she's, you know, she admits, I have to cover myself because I'm about to put setting powder. But she admits, she's like, I selfishly just want to make sure that my daughter, you know, comes back. And, you know, you got to work that out with your daughter. I think that it is insane to make demands for this grown-ass man. You don't get to do that, okay? But still, he's like, listen, I want you to feel as comfortable as possible with the situation. And she's like, I'm never going to feel comfortable. Okay.
In the end of the day, this is my home, and I have to show you that I can provide for her. I'm sure if I get partnership papers with Chloe, that will make you feel a lot more comfortable.
You know what? None of this, honestly, Jonathan, none of this makes me comfortable.
Here we go.
You know what would be comfortable? Is my daughter being at home.
The next time we see them, okay, they're at the beach. And Johnny goes away to like grab them some drinks. And the mom is still like, oh, I really wish that you guys would come and live with me. And Chloe's like, listen, it just doesn't make sense for us because if I go back, he's still going to have to do paperwork, and it's going to take him months to be able to come to America, and we just won't survive long distance. And again, this again is pointing to the direction that Johnny never asked his girl to move. Her insecure ass was like, this is the only way to make sure that no girls are hugging you at your job, at your place of business. And it's just so insane. Yes, I look insane right now. So we've known that Chloe has some really, some serious control issues. She had access to his cameras, access to his location, goes through his phone, the works, okay? And she makes the horrible mistake, the worst mistake of all, to overshare with her madre. She tells her mom, well, we had a rocky start in the beginning. He went to Miami with this girl, and it was a whole thing. And she's not telling her mom that they weren't exclusive at the time. And that is why he didn't cut off anyone that he was talking to. So her mom, of course, is like, oh my God, he cheated on you. Like, I would never get past that. And Chloe's like, oh, well, we've worked on trust, and like, I feel like comfortable with it now, but it wouldn't be okay if I lived apart. And I'm just like, girl, first of all, I think that your mom already feels uneasy about this decision. The last thing that you need to do is tell her this kind of information. Also, if you're going to give her the information, give her the full story. From what we've gotten from both of them is that they weren't exclusive. And sure, he should have been more vocal about the fact that he was dating other people, but they weren't exclusive. It's not considered cheating if he wants to take a trip with someone else. And then immediately after, they defined the relationship, and he cut everyone off. But the fact that she's like, I have trust issues because of that, I just don't think that that's necessarily fair. I get it that you would feel away and hurt if you're being exclusive and someone isn't. But I think that you should never assume. You need to have explicit conversations. All that to say, I think that it is crazy to tell your mom he cheated when you know damn well that those were not the terms of your relationship. Also, Johnny told us that if anyone did cheating here, it was Chloe. Chloe was texting other guys, allegedly, according to Johnny. Why didn't she tell her mama that? So now her mom is here fired up, ready to lay it on Johnny. And I'm just like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot because now Johnny's going to have to fend for himself for a situation that he didn't ask for, because he didn't ask you to move here. He definitely doesn't want to move to the US. And now he has to deal with your mom for information that you shouldn't have provided because it was none of her business after you decided to stay with him. So yeah, it's going to be a mess. So now her mom is fired up and she has ammunition. And of course she's like, oh, I know it. She's not making the right decision. And afterwards, Chloe's like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said anything.
I was feeling pretty torn about telling my mom about Jonathan's little cheating scenario. I wanted her to kind of understand where I'm coming from. But now, I kind of regret telling my mom what happened with Jonathan in the past.
I'm like, girl, I can't feel bad for you. I can't feel bad for you when you do stupid shit like that. This is a Sephora brand setting spray. But yeah, I would love to know how you guys feel because, again, I'm someone, I over-communicate in relationships. I don't like to assume. Did Johnny owe her an explanation ahead of time? It can be argued. I think that everyone feels differently about that. I think that I can totally understand how someone would be like, damn, that's shady that they're dating other people and didn't tell me. But I also completely can empathize with someone thinking it's none of your business because I didn't even know that you wanted to be exclusive. And remember, Johnny told us, he was like, I honestly was surprised when she came back so quickly because many people say that they'll come back and they don't. So I think that he just expected them to be some sort of hookup and that's it. So I think that he has done more than enough to try to make her feel secure after they've been exclusive. I think that she's doing the most, but I also think that that comes with age and wisdom that she doesn't have yet. She's only, 23? I feel like at 23, my anxious attachment, honey, it was on and popping. It was a lot. So I want to empathize with her with that. But yeah, your mom, I've been in situations where I've overshared with my mom and regretted it immediately. I think the last time I overshared, I must have been 24. I'm about to tell y'all my business. But I went to sleep. I'm Dominican. Dominican moms don't play. I'm also the first grandchild, first generation. Like, there's a lot of things that I feel like I've broken the glass ceiling for. And I remember at 24, I was dating this guy for like 3 months. And he invited me to his place. And, you know, at that point, I didn't feel like I needed to lie and live my life. I could just be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to sleep at this guy's house. And it was a big deal because I really thought I was going to be with this guy for a long time, okay? So I made the mistake of telling my madre, honey, disclaimer, we are in a very good place, but my 20s were rough on me and my mama. We just did not communicate well. Honey, I came over the next day from my sleepover. The slut shaming that ensued, and I was like, wow, so you really were acting all cool, but you really aren't. Like, I really can't tell you everything. And, you know, some girlies have that kind of relationship where they can. I feel like Dominican moms, it's a tricky slope. Now in my 30s, I can tell her some stuff and not feel judged. And also now I just don't care. But in my 20s, I cared. And I feel like Chloe acts like she doesn't care, but she definitely cares what her mom thinks. So yeah, girl, now you're cut off and you're being judged. I can't. But yeah, you guys, that's it for the recap. Sorry if this was a little bit chaotic. But yeah, lip combo of the day is NYX NYX Espresso lip liner. I love it. And then I put a mauve lipstick from Revlon. It's called Sassy Mauve. Love her. She's my new, like, everyday lip. And yeah, you guys, I have to accessorize and figure out what skirt I'm gonna put because I am pantsless right now. But yeah, this is the look. I cannot wait to eat my weight in all of my aunt's delicious food. I realize that you guys are gonna see this video after Thanksgiving, so I hope that you celebrated nicely with whoever, whether it's on your lonesome, which I've done before, friends, family. If you're eating good with family and friends, great. If you ordered yourself some takeout, great. I hope that you are just having a chill weekend. I love you guys. Again, thank you for keeping up with me in this chaotic video. I appreciate you guys, and I'm so grateful for you guys. I saw that we reached 8,000 subscribers. I love my little community. I love how we've grown slowly but surely. I'm so grateful for you guys. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.